shape functions for four noded tetrahedral element. Again, it is linear element, only it is having a corner node. Okay, this particular element we don't have internal nodes, only tetrahedral we have only corner nodes. This is node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, node number 4, so that it is called a linear four noded tetrahedral element. Okay, so for this we are going to obtain the shape functions by using the Lagrange's function in natural coordinate system. Okay, just consider a tetrahedral element in global coordinate system, then again it is mapped into the natural coordinate system. Okay, if you want to show in global coordinate system, the tetrahedral element will be like this. Okay, which is having a node numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and this for this tetrahedral element, always we are going to give node numbers counterclockwise direction, because same way we are going to consider in the software also. Okay, so that as per the software, okay, so just we are going to consider, we are going to give the node numbers in counterclockwise direction. Node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, node number 4. Okay, and each node it is having 3 degrees of freedom. Okay, the first degrees of freedom having a displacement q1, in the second degree of freedom q2 as a displacement. Similarly, at the third degree it is having the displacement q3. Okay, so that it is having each node 3 degrees of freedom, so that it is going to be obtained 3 nodal displacements. Okay, as q1, q2, q3. Similarly, at node number 2, node number 3, node number 4. Okay, this is what the tetrahedral element in global coordinate system. Okay, then this is again mapped into the natural coordinate system. Okay, just we are going to keep one as a node. Okay, a specific node here. Okay, from that we are going to join. Okay, so this, whatever the tetrahedral element, from the top view, if you see, you can able to see 3 triangles. Okay, from the top view, if you able to, if you see, okay, then you can able to see 3 triangles. Okay, so at node number 1, only in zeta direction, this giving the coordinates values is most important. Clear? So by using this coordinates value in the Lagrange's function, we can able to obtain the shape functions at node number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that the coordination values, okay, it is most important at node number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just consider this is counterclockwise direction, node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, node number 4. All the whatever the elements, it is going to be connected to the one point, so that from node number 4 we are going to start to give the coordination values of zeta, neta and psi. Okay, then just consider this is as the origin. At node number 4, zeta value, neta value and psi value as 0. Okay, if you consider this element towards zeta direction, okay, this full element it is having, okay, this full element it is having in the zeta direction. Okay, the zeta value will be 1 and neta and psi value will be 0. Similarly, at node number 2, zeta value in the zeta direction only we are going to consider value that is as equal to 1, and remaining directions it will be 0. Similarly, psi direction, the zeta and neta value will be 0 and psi value will be 1. Similarly, at node number 4, all the values it is origin, so that all the values we are going to consider 0, 0. Okay, so this is how we are going to give the coordinates values for the tetrahedral element. Okay, so this is most important, because these values we are going to use it in the Lagrange's function to obtain the shape functions of a tetrahedral element. Now we are going to obtain the shape functions. Just consider at node number 1. Okay, by using, okay, just if it is one element only, it is consisting of 2 nodes. Okay, node number 1 and node number 2. So just consider this. Okay, now if you want to calculate zeta value, okay, if you want to calculate the shape functions at node number 1, okay, then the node number 1 which is equal to k, so that k value which is equal to 1, and remaining node it is here. If you consider this is element, then the remaining node is as 4. Okay, now consider at node number 1 we need to calculate the shape function, so that, so k which is equal to 1, so zeta 1 it is. Okay, and remaining in this particular element, remaining node is 4, so that I value equal to 4. Okay, so that consider it is zeta 4. So finally we are going to get equation like this. Okay, then substitute the values of zeta 1 and zeta 4. Okay, so zeta 1 value here 1, and zeta 4 value in the direction here zeta value is 0, so that it is again equal to zeta. Okay, so here in the x direction, if you consider at node number 1, if you substitute zeta value 1, then n1 which is equal to 1, and remaining all nodes, the n1 value will be 0. Okay, that way, so it is going to be obtained, okay, zeta value only the n1 which is equal to zeta. Okay, then similarly, to obtain the shape function at node number 2, so at node number 2 only this is neta direction. Okay, this element only it is having in neta direction. So node number 2 and node number 4 we are going to consider as, okay, for the element. So here consider the single noded the Lagrange's function equation. Okay, so neta minus, because it is in the neta direction, so that neta we are going to consider, okay, at node number 2, neta minus neta I divided by neta k minus neta I. Okay, here k which is equal to 2, because at node number 2 we need to have a shape function, so that k which is equal to 2 and I which is equal to node number 4, so that the equation it is obtained is like this. Okay, then just substitute here n2 value and n4 value. N4 value here, again here neta value will be 0 and neta value will be here 2. Okay, neta value will be here 2, so that as you substituting here, so neta 4 value is 0. Okay, neta value at node number 4, that is neta 4 means neta value at node number 4. Okay, so neta value at node number 2, neta value at node number 4. Okay, so just substitute here, you are going to get again n2 which is equal to neta. Okay, similarly find out shape function at node number 3. Okay, so node number 3 which is equal to, again it is having in zeta direction, sorry, side direction. Again it is having side direction, so that we are going to consider element this is, okay, and this elements the nodes are 3 and 4. Okay, and at node number 3 zeta value is 0, neta value is 0, and psi value is equal to 1, and at node number 4 all the coordinates values will be 0 because it is horizon. Okay, then as you are taking the shape function at node number 3, the equation becomes like this. Okay, the k value which is equal to 3 and I value which is equal to 4. Okay, just substitute the values of psi at node number 4. Okay, at node number 3, the values of psi at node number 4 is 0. The value of psi at node number 3 is equal to 1. So that again you are going to get n3 which is equal to psi. Okay, similarly consider node number 4. Okay, so at node number 4, okay, at node number 4, it is again this node number 4, it is interconnected to the node number 1, node number 2, node number 3. So that all the three values we need to consider, so that the equation becomes like this. Okay, so as you consider the node number 1, the equation will be zeta minus zeta 1 divided by zeta 4 minus zeta 1. As you considering node number 2 in the x in the neta direction, this becomes neta minus neta 2 divided by neta 4 minus neta 2. As you considering the no in the direction of psi, then this becomes equation psi minus psi 3 divided by psi 4 minus psi 3. Okay, this overall equation for node number 4. Just substitute all values here. You are going to get like this. Then just do the simplification here. So minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1 plus 1 into minus 1 it becomes, okay. Then this just multiplication. So zeta minus 1 into minus neta minus 1, which gives the terms like this into psi plus 1. Again if you multiply, okay, this, okay, again if you multiply this, you are going to get the equation like this. Again the combination here, okay, just consider here, if you consider zeta 1 as one value in the zeta direction, then remaining neta and psi value will be 0, so that the combination values again it is equal to 0, so that the final equation you are going to write like this. Again here also you can see that at node number 4, zeta, neta, psi values. At node number 4, zeta, neta and psi values will be equal to 0. Okay, then if you substitute these values here, then you can able to get n4 which is equal to 1. That is what the it is going to be satisfying the property of shape function. Okay, so if it is n1 which is equal to v, it is equal to 1, the n1 sorry n1 n4 value if it is equal to 1 here, as you substituting the values of zeta, neta, psi values as 0, then all remaining nodes at node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, the n4 value equal to 0 only. Okay, if it is n4 value equal to 1 at node number 4, then all remaining nodes n4 value will be 0. Okay, so that is what the it is going to be satisfying the shape property of the shape function. Okay, this is how we are going to obtain the shape functions for a tetrahedral, four noded tetrahedral element. Okay, it is shape functions for element.
సైజు తక్కువ
Is it clear?
Voice breaking, sir.
We are going to move. So similarly, to obtain the shape functions for 8-noded hexahedral element. Okay, so it is also having only corner nodes. There is no any internal nodes. Okay, so that again it is a linear 8-noded hexahedral element. Okay, it is also called brick element because so it is look like in the brick shape. It is having a 8 corner nodes only. Okay, so just consider again here also how to give these numbers. Okay, how to this coordinates values in the particular direction is most important. Okay, so writing of this uh, rating of this hexahedral element is most important. Okay, then by using these values only we can able to obtain the shape functions at the node number 1, node number 2, and node number 3, like that. Okay, for different nodes. Clear? So writing of these coordinates values in this particular direction is most important because these values we are going to use. Now just considering, okay, so node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, node number 4, okay, so node number 5, 6, 7, 8 here, okay, are 8 corner nodes. Okay, just at node number 1, first I'm going to start to write the zeta, neta, and psi values. Okay, from here I'm going to take and from here I'm going to start, and here I'm going to consider, okay, the zeta values, neta, and psi values. Okay, so to just write at node number 1, so we know that, so always in the elements, okay, the values of zeta, neta, and psi values, it is varying from -1 to +1. Okay, so in natural coordinate system we know that, okay, the zeta, neta, and psi values, it is varying from -1 to +1. This is what we have considered in for previous cases also. Okay, so just if it is a first element is, okay, this is which is having a node number 1 and 2. The first element is this, and which is having a node number 1 and 2. Now here just we are going to write the coordinates values. Okay, so here only it is having a zeta direction, only it is having a zeta direction. Okay, just consider in the zeta direction the value how it is going to be varied, the zeta value. So just see here the zeta value, it is going to be varying from -1 to +1. Okay, only this particular direction, -1 to +1. Just you can write it here -1 and +1. Okay, so remaining what about neta and psi? Okay, so only we are going to consider zeta direction. Don't bother about the neta and psi values. Okay, whenever it is comes neta and zeta direction, that cases only we are going to consider. Okay, now this is over. Only we have right. We have taken the zeta value in only in zeta direction. That is -1 +1 for this particular element. Now consider this particular element. Okay, now if you consider in this particular element, it is in neta direction. You can see here if it is in neta direction. If in the neta direction at node number 2 is -1, then the at node number 2 it should be +1 because it is always varying from -1 to +1. Okay, now here also you can see here it is also in neta direction. Okay, if it is -1 here neta value, then at this node, at the node number 4, the value should be 1. Okay, clear? Similarly, if you consider this element, okay, at node number 3, node number 4, okay, at node number 3, node number 4, just here already we have taken these two values. Okay, here just it is how we have got these values and these psi values. Okay, just see here. Now just consider in psi direction. Okay, if you consider in psi direction, okay, vertical direction, so just consider this element, okay, the vertical element which is having node number 3 and node number 7. Okay, just see here in the zeta direction at node number 3, if it is having -1 value, at node number 7 it must be having plus value because in the element always the zeta, neta, and psi values, it is varying from -1 to +1. That's why we are going to write. Okay, so -1 plus 1, okay, -1 plus 1, -1 plus 1. Okay, so in all three directions. Similarly, if you consider here in all three directions, it is having plus here because it is -1, here -1, then here +1, here it is -1, here you can see +1 in vertical direction. Okay, so by considering all three directions, okay, the element which is varying the coordinates values from -1 to +1, okay, by considering that we can able to write the coordinates values at each node like this, okay, at all three directions. Node number 1, all three directions, the values will be -1, -1, -1 at node number 2, +1, -1, -1 at node number 3, like this, 1, 1, -1. Okay. So that way, in all three directions, we are going to consider the values which is varying from -1 to +1. Okay. Now, so by using these values, we can able to find out the shape function at node number 1, okay, node number 2 for all 8 corner nodes. Now just consider a Lagrange shape function, okay, the equation to find out the shape functions, okay, ni which is equal to 1 by 8, 1 plus zeta into zeta I, okay. So here I is number of nodes, okay, zeta will be at particular node value, okay. So zeta value will be at particular node, at particular direction, the value of zeta, and zeta I will be the zeta values and remaining different node, okay, remaining different node values. Okay. Similarly, 1 plus neta neta I. Neta value will be at particular node, the neta value, and remaining all other nodes, whatever the neta value, okay, that's equal to ni. Okay. Similarly, in the direction of zeta, in the direction of psi, okay, 1 plus psi into psi. Okay. By using this standard equation, we can able to obtain the shape functions at different nodes. Okay, just consider first node. Okay, at first node, okay, zeta value will be -1, neta value will be -1, and psi value will be -1. Okay, then just substitute these values at high numbers. Okay, just substitute these values because it high here which is equal to 1, because at node number 1 we are going to obtain the shape function. So that substitute zeta, neta, and psi values in this particular equation at this becomes zeta 1, this becomes neta 1, and this becomes psi 1. Okay, this particular places you just substitute these values, then you are going to get n1 which is equal to 1 by 8, 1 minus zeta, because zeta I which is equal to -1. Okay, here plus is there, so that it becomes minus. Then here my n1, okay, sorry, neta 1 which is equal to -1, so that here plus is there, -1 into plus, it becomes minus, so that 1 minus neta. Similarly, psi I which is equal to -1 again, so that it becomes -1 minus psi. Okay, so as you substituting all zeta, neta, psi values in this particular equation, you are going to get n1. Okay, so that is the shape functions at node number 1. Similarly, calculate shape function at node number 2. Just consider at node number 2 what are the values. Okay, zeta value is 1. You can see here at node number 2 in the diagram. Okay, zeta value is 1, neta value is -1, and psi value is -1. Just these values you just write down here and just substitute in the above equation. You are going to get n2 value. Similarly, at node number 3, zeta value is 1, neta value is 1, and psi value is -1. Okay, just substitute at node number 3 these values, we are going to get it n3. Okay, so similarly, as you substituting all these, the coordination values zeta, neta, and psi values at each node, you can able to obtain the shape functions. Okay, like this, n4, okay, n5, n6, n7, n8. Okay, so by using this standard equation, by considering this coordinates values in natural coordinates, okay, you can able to obtain the shape functions at all 8 corner nodes. Okay, types of elements. Okay, so based upon higher order elements, again the elements are categorized into iso, sub, and super parametric elements. Okay, isoparametric, subparametric, and super parametric elements. Okay, so based upon the higher order elements, how we are going to use. Okay, based upon the application where we are going to use, based upon that it is going to be categorized. Okay, now what is isoparametric elements? Okay, so where we are going to use, why it is required this isoparametric elements. Okay, now just consider a geometry. In real applications, if you consider any product, okay, there will be a curved surfaces, right? There will be a curved surfaces. In that curved surfaces, Okay, how you are going to discretize? Okay, so if you can't able to consider the curved surface itself to in the analysis, right? So in the geometry, so all the real parts it is having a curved surfaces or curved boundaries. Okay, so if you consider the curved boundaries, the results it is not gives. Okay, so exactly, okay, the accurate results you are not going to get. Okay, so that what we are going to do, okay, that curved surface we are going to discretize it into a straight line. Okay, so approximated straight line, so that we can able to get the a final value as approximate value, because since the curved surfaces it is going to be discretized into a straight line, so that the value, whatever the value, final value we are going to get, it is also approximated. Okay, so that the curved boundaries are curved surfaces, it is going to be discretized into straight lines. Now, as we discretize it into straight lines, okay, so it will be having more number of nodes, more number of straight lines. Okay, if it is having a more number of straight lines, then the computation time becomes very big, right? So, in the real parts, as it is having the curved surfaces, as it is discretized into straight lines, okay, it is having more number of straight lines. If it is consisting of more number of straight lines, okay, then the computation or the analysis becomes very difficult, or the analysis becomes very big. The now more number of straight lines, which gives more computational time. Okay, to overcome this, to avoid this problem, we are going to use isoparametric elements. Understand why it is required isoparametric elements? One can answer. Anyone, please. So this way we are going to use isoparametric elements. Okay. So this isoparametric elements, how we are going to evaluate? So by taking these isoparametric elements in natural coordinate system, that we are going to transfer into the Cartesian coordinate system as a arbitrary element. This arbitrary elements having a geometry. At this particular geometry, we are going to obtain the shape function. Okay, we are going to obtain the shape function as the parent element, it is having the shape function value. Okay, so as the parent element it is having a shape function value, same shape function what we obtained in the parent element, that same shape function value again we are going to use to obtain, or again we are going to use to determine the displacement. Okay, again same shape function we are going to use to obtain the displacement value. Okay, if it is element is like this, then such a type of elements we are going to call it as isoparametric elements. Okay, just consider the definition of isoparametric elements. If the order of the shape function, okay, so just if it is curved surface, it is discretized into number of straight lines at each straight lines. Okay, so for example take this is, okay, it is having a straight lines. Okay, it is having a two nodes here, like you can see here. Okay, so two nodes means it is having the geometry. Okay, at node number one the coordinates values will be some values, at node number two some values. Okay, if you define coordinates values at node number one and node number two for the corresponding distances, that gives the geometry of that particular element. Okay, so at that particular geometry, okay, at that particular node we are going to obtain the shape function. That is what in the previous case and all we have done. Okay, at node number one, node number two, we obtain the shape functions, right? So at no particular node if you obtain the shape functions, okay, that shape function, so at node number one if you obtain the shape functions means that particular geometry we have got the shape function. That shape function if you use to obtain the displacement at particular node only. Okay, if you use the same shape function to obtain the or to determine the displacement at that particular node only, then such a type of analysis, such a type of element analysis we are going to consider as a isoparametric elements or isoparametric formulations. Okay, then just see definition. What is the isoparametric element? The isoparametric element is nothing but if the order of the shape function used to define the geometry. Now see here, so you can see here the rectangular, rectangular shape which is nodes for the displacement, and the circle which is nodes for the geometry. Similarly, n which is shape functions for the to define the geometry, n dash which is shape functions for the to define the displacement. Okay. Now, so in order of the shape function used to define the geometry. So geometry means here the circle. Okay. So here the shape function we are going to obtain at this particular node. Okay, so by using the by defining the geometry. Okay, the order of the shape function used to define the geometry are equal to the order of the shape function. If it is same shape function, again if it is used to define the displacement, because see at node number 1 whatever the shape functions we have got, say at that particular node only we are going to able to we are going to able to define the displacement also. Okay, we are going to able to determine the displacement also, so that at particular element at particular node. Okay, so whatever the shape function, same shape functions if you use it to define geometry and also displacement, such a type of elements are called isoparametric elements. Okay, if the order of the shape functions used to define the geometry are equal to the order of the shape function used to define the displacement, such elements are known as isoparametric elements. See here, so n is nothing but the shape functions which is used to define the geometry, and n dash which is nothing but the shape functions which is used to define the displacement. If n which is equal to n dash, that is the shape functions which is equal to used to define both geometry and the displacement. Okay, then the terms which is equal, okay, the number of terms, the number of shape functions which is equal to which is equal to define the geometry and displacement, then such a type of elements are called isoparametric elements. Okay, now see, you can see here we have got four nodes: node number 1, node number 2, node number 3. So at node number 1 we have used the geometry as a circle, and also this displacement as a rectangular shape. Okay, so we have got four circles, 1 2 3 4, and we have got four rectangular boxes, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so that here at node number 1 the shape function, okay, the shape function used to define the geometry and displacement which is equally in the overall elements. Okay, so that it is called, okay, the isoparametric elements. Okay, the shape functions which is equal to which is used to define geometry and displacement, okay, is equal. If it is these shape functions are equal to define geometry and displacement, then such a type of elements are called isoparametric elements. Okay, the numbers are same here. Okay, the shape functions numbers are same. Okay, now consider subparametric elements. Okay, what is subparametric elements? If the shape functions used to define the shape functions used to define displacement, if it is greater than the shape functions used to define the geometry, then such a type of elements are called subparametric elements. You can see here in the diagram. Okay, here the circles are only 4 and where the rectangular boxes are 8. Okay, which means the shape functions which is used to define the displacements are more than the shape functions which is used to define the geometry. Okay, so why we are going to show like this? Okay, so just for example, consider if the stress gradient in the domain or in the continuum. Okay, so if it is stress variation, the stress gradient variation, if it is having very less. Okay, so if you want to find it more accurate or more displacement values. Okay, more displacement values in such a type of applications, we are going to be able to define the geometries like this. Okay, where the stress gradient is very less. Okay, so similarly consider super parametric elements. Okay, so in the super parametric elements, whatever the whatever the shape function which is used to define the geometry is less than the shape function which is used to define the geometry. Okay, the shape functions which is used to define the displacement is less than the shape functions which is used to define the geometry. Okay, so as per the definition, you can see here, if the order of the shape function used to define the displacement is less than order of the shape function used to define the geometry, then such a type of elements are called superparametric elements.